Well, welcome back. My name is Sam or Erfaren, and today we are going to build a wool farm because I've been trying to come up with like a fun banner design to use as like a flag of this town, of this place. And I realized I don't have any wool to do this. So in today's episode, we're gonna make a wool farm, and I haven't decided really where I'm gonna put it, but I think I kind of want to put it there. But at the same time, we could put it over here and have it be kind of our first building in town. So I think maybe the best idea is to, while we're still working over here, let's finish out this area and build it as kind of an additional building that will go right here to fill in this space. Because the nice thing about being right here is if you look around, if you're standing right here, all you can see is the sea, or I guess technically the river, this nice, mountain range, the tree. Like, your view is kind of always locked into what is going on here until you look this way. And I think I want to do something to kind of fill in that space over there and make it feel like when you look that way, you're still encompassed in this kind of fishing docks area. So I think that's the plan today. If that sounds good to you all, I've never made one of these before. So I think what we're going to need to do is collect just a bunch of dispensers, a bunch of shears, and a bunch of observers. And I think we're good. So I guess maybe let's go do some proof of concept on this and also sleep so that we don't have all these zombies coming after us. So if I'm understanding correctly, the basic idea of a sheep farm is you have an observer and you have a dispenser, which we don't have, but we'll just use a dropper in this instance. I believe the observer watches the grass block, and then if the grass block changes, it's going to put out a pulse behind it. And let's just watch and see. Yeah. So when there's a pulse of this changing, this sends another pulse, which will go up to the dispenser, and then the dispenser will fire onto the sheep, which then will shear the sheep and drop the wool. I think if we do this enough times, we can get not only just white wool, but as much wool as we want. Well, with that kind of all sorted out and organized, let's go ahead and drop everything back in here. So we are going to need, obviously, to make some dispensers, and then we are also going to need kind of a bunch of just normal dirt blocks, which we can get easy enough. And then I think we're probably good on observers. I guess I didn't look. I think we've got like 12, or we got 5. Okay, so we're going to need some more observers too, but that's not going to be an issue. And then I think we're good. I kind of want to do like a tower of these that'll then drop the blocks down somehow. I'll have to figure out exactly how I want to do that. And then they'll all have a collection down here that we'll get to, but all of the sheep will be in this area. So let's go ahead and maybe first we just collect a bunch of just normal grass blocks, which I believe we probably have a number of random shovels and things around in here. So let's just see if we've got any in here. Yep, there we go. There's a silk touch. All right. Well, we're going to clear out this area anyway. So let's maybe just take some of this off the top. And that way we've just already got the space cleared out for where we're going to put this. Okay, so with that done, this might be a little bit bigger, might be a little bit different, but I wanted to make just kind of a good square right here that will fill in this blank space here. So if the shape changes a little bit, I think that's going to be just fine, but I think this is probably the best way to have this just to start. So with that done, obviously we got a bunch of extra dirt and grass blocks. Grass blocks are what we're going to need, obviously, to replenish the grass blocks that the sheep eat. But the next thing we need to do is go ahead and make some more observers and some dispensers. So we'll head on over to base, where I know we have a bunch of nether quartz, and where we also have a few just kind of miscellaneous bows lying around. I'm sure we're going to need to make more and figure that out too, but we can at least start with the materials that we have. And I'm also going to go ahead and just drop these off in here so that I don't have to carry them around with me. There we go. Okay. So popping over here, we'll grab these bows. Maybe let all these stack in with each other here. So there's 3. I think that might be it for bows. Obviously, we have a bunch of nether quartz, so that's good. And then we actually do need to have that cobblestone back, and then our redstone, which we will grab back from one of the many different ender chests that we have lying around here. All right, redstone, and we'll grab that just in case. Let's go ahead. How many colors are there of wool? Let me do a quick little peek on that. I would like to thank the Minecraft wiki for this one. There are 16 colors of wool that we need to obtain. So we're going to need 16 observers, 16 dispensers, and obviously so on from there. So let's go ahead and get our observers handled. We know we have 5, so we just need another 11. There we go. We'll do 12 for good measure, just to make sure that we've got 1 extra in case we should need it. And then dispensers we're going to need to figure out, and we're definitely going to need more bows. So let's go check and see if we have any string lying around. Otherwise, we might need to go find some spiders to take care of. Luckily for us, we've got a good handful of string here. Do we have any other string lying around? It does not look like it, but I think 39 should be more than enough to get us a few bows made here. So we're going to need, like I said, 16 of these. So it might be close. I suppose we can see how many we'll actually make here. So if we do like this, we'd get 13, which we have 3 here. So that actually would get us right to where we need to be. So where do we have any just wood lying around? Looks like we just got logs here. So let's grab these and we'll turn this oak into wood and then this all into sticks. Perfect. Oh, and it thinks that we're using light matica. We are not using light matica. There we go. All right. So dispenser is the next thing. What do we need? We are going to need redstone and we are going to need cobblestone and bows. So let's make a bunch of bows. We can only make that many for now. Let's get some dispensers put together here. Perfect. We got our 16 dispensers in hand, our 17 observers just for fun, and the rest of our actual redstone dust. And you know what? Let's just leave some nether quartz in here for the future, just in case. So the next thing that we have got to figure out is, let me just get these all back and organized in here. So the next thing that we need to figure out is shears. And luckily for us, we have an iron farm that has given us an absolute ton of iron. So if we can just pop over here, we may want an empty shulker box, which I don't see why we can't just combine these two really quick. And we'll just take one of them and we will fill this with 16 sets of shears. 16 sets of shears later, we are ready to shear some sheep. Let me get this back into an iron block. Throw those back in here. I am really, really grateful for that iron farm. It has done us really well up to this point. Let's go ahead and sleep out the night. I don't know the last time I slept, and I really don't want to risk dealing with any of the phantoms. So let's do this really, really quick. And then I think it's time that we get this built, and then we'll get some sheep into place. Alrighty, so the first things first, I think we just need to collect some blocks to take over that still fit that same palette that we've been doing over there up to this point. And yeah, we'll get some normal deep slate in this mix as well. I don't know how much we're going to use, but at least have some of it. And then all this diorite, it's treated us really well up to this point, so we're just going to keep using it. This is full of stuff, so we will not be using this one. We can use this one. There we go. And then let's see. We're going to want probably some bricks, which we've got a ton of still, which is great. And yeah, we're going to take all of this. And then I think the last thing we really want to pick up here is probably some moss blocks. And then I think we are good to rock. With both of these put together, I think this is probably going to be enough to get this built. If it's not, we can go ahead and do any amount of little mining to handle this. But I think I am liking the idea of putting it right here. Again, if we just kind of stick in the same general style, obviously it'll be a little bit bigger. And I'm kind of thinking that instead of trying to make it tall, if we still made it about the same size as this and just a little bit maybe longer this way, like maybe it hung out a little bit, or maybe it has like a covered area for boats or something like that to make it fit a little more into this while still, you know, being functional. I think that's what I want to try and do. I think with that though, we're probably going to want it to be just a little bit deeper. So let's go ahead and cut away, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see, how wide are we off of this already? So if we are already here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the center of the walkway is right here. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4 off the edge, which puts this at 9. So we want this to be 9 by 9, I think. And then we'll just kind of go from there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we are already at 9 by 9. So actually, maybe we just go ahead and leave it, and then we'll let it stretch out a little bit further. Yeah, I think it's gonna look good. So maybe first things first is let's just get a basic floor down, and I'm just gonna use cobblestone to start, just because it's kind of the easiest thing to just place down and then texture from there. So let's just get a base 9 by 9 of cobblestone, and then we can get into the actual building of this farm. All right, with our 9 by 9 platform put together, again, this is the center, so we're going to change how the dock works. As a matter of fact, I'll go ahead and just take this out now. Obviously, it's still going to be grounded there. It'll extend out, and then this part will probably be pushed back in line with this so that it actually lines up a little bit better. But we'll leave that one for now. We can pick those up, though, just in case. So I think the first thing we probably want to figure out is the collection zone for all of this. And I think we're going to use a lot of different hoppers and things to kind of feed down to the collection zone. But what I'm finding out is apparently we don't have any chests lying around. So let's grab this, run in here, and make just a few chests. I think 4 is going to be perfect. Obviously, we're going to want more in time. But for right now, I think 4 fits exactly what we're needing. So what I'm wanting in my head is you walk right in and all of this is kind of going on above us, or maybe it's going on around and we're not really privy to it. Kind of like we did over with the sugarcane farm over there, where it's kind of its own place, but then all of this is being funneled down to us. You know what? Now that we're doing this, I think I want a separate set of chests for each type of wool. So we are going to make a bunch more chests, actually, and we will do 16 separate areas of chests, which is going to be 32 chests in total that we're going to need to put together. So give me a second to get those put together here. Perfect. With our chests put together, I think I can go ahead and lay out a general idea. So again, this is centered on this. And again, obviously there's going to be a wall around here. So I think it makes the most sense to just kind of have the chests go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then this would technically be 8 right here for a perfect 16. But I think what we're going to do instead is we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you got 7 on both sides, which equals up to 14, obviously. And then we'll do another 2. I don't know, maybe. Ooh, what's the best way to do this? You know, if it really makes the most sense to have this just go out 1 more block for us to get this to fit, I think it's worth it, even if it throws it off. So we're at 9 here. I want to keep it odd. So we're going to need to actually expand 2 blocks out to here. So let's get this cleared out. And I think that's going to solve all of our problems and make it just feel a little bit better while still keeping kind of the odd shape for the building. So now we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16 chests. So how this is going to work is we are going to have, you walk in, and you got kind of these rows of chests next to you. What is going on above our heads is going to be where these sheep are being sheared and their wool is coming down into here. And actually, because we expanded this out another 2, I was just thinking that maybe we just expand each of these out on both sides another 2. So we'll go out 1 on this side and 1 on that side. So it makes it all still the same, I guess now technically 11 by 11, but it gives us actually a little bit more space to put these hopper lines right here without encroaching on the edge of the building. So I thought that could work pretty well. So we're going to clear out this row here, and then that should be the final area that we need for the build that I'm thinking of. So the next thing I want, let's actually look and see how many hoppers we have, because we might need to make some more. We are probably good on hoppers. Never mind. We're definitely going to need some more in time, But if we're only going to have these be just above, I think having this row here, and then we'll probably need another, I don't know, I guess depends on how many we end up with here. But I'm going to assume we'll probably need another 20 or so more, because we'll do one more up here that will act as the hopper that picks up the drop once the sheep is sheared. And then that'll put all of the wool into here. I fully expect these to completely fill up with wool. And that's what I want. I want to have just a bunch of wool so I never have to worry about wool again. And I can make all the fun banners and designs that I want. So that is the base level of this, I think. What I want to do now, obviously, before we actually build in anything, is figure out what the next layer is going to look like. So obviously we want to have enough headroom. So we don't want to just have the floor be right here. Obviously, this would be uncomfortable being down here. So we want to do one more probably before we start working on the floor. And then this will be kind of that next level. And again, we'll go with probably completely different blocks, if I'm being honest, for this section. But then that'll be the layer that the sheep are actually on. And that is where our dirt blocks come in, which we are just going to layer right along like this, all the way to the edge here. And we'll do the same on this side. And again, I'm not following anybody's design on this. This is fully just me deciding I wanted to put together a sheep farm, wool farm, I should say, and trying to work it out on my own. So if we make some changes here and there later, it's because I figured something else out, and I will share with you what I figured out. So the thought that I'm having is that the redstone will actually be on the inside line of this instead of out here on the outside, so we don't have to worry about any sort of external pressure here or running into the wall. So I think maybe the best thing is to start here. Ooh, if we're not careful about this though, the sheep eats this. So we're actually going to need one more line, which is good because we made space for it, of dirt on the edge that will act as kind of our safety row of dirt so that we never run out of dirt, or never run out of grass, I should say, for the sheep. Because if we're going to do the redstone on the inside, this is going to be an observer all the way down this row. And then we're going to have the dispensers right here and the sheep themselves in each of these sections, which we are going to have to figure out how to space them out. So maybe, honestly, maybe we do have to make this kind of more of a longhouse instead of just a square. Alternatively, we have there just be another layer of sheep up above that drops down. That might be the better option. Let's actually do it that way. So how we'll do this is we'll create a little bit of spacing here on the bottom, and then we're just going to duplicate this up above. Well, actually, honestly, we don't have to change any of this. You know, it doesn't, the sheep are going to be on different layers, but the collection area doesn't have to change. So I think what I'm going to do is leave all these boxes. They're still going to get fed the same wool and everything, but we're just going to do a little bit of fancy finagling here along the edge with the droppers to get them to the right place. So on this layer, this will be an area where a sheep actually is. This will be an area a sheep actually is, and so on like that. So we'll do 4 per side, just like this. And again, what I'm cutting out right now is where the observer is going to go. And then once we get up onto the top level here, we'll go ahead and build another layer up. So 1, 2, 3. And I don't mind if this one is 3 tall because this is just where we're going to have the sheep. So we can go ahead and do the exact same thing up here. And then that way there's far more grass. So we never have to worry about the sheep running out of food and then, you know, not growing their wool back or anything like that. And I think that solves our problem. And then the nice thing is we can run the hoppers that are going to catch the drops. We can run those just straight down without interfering with anything else. So I think this should work out. And I suppose, honestly, maybe the best thing to do is to try and do these a little bit off from each other. And that way, none of the hoppers are going to interact with each other. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, and 4. And this poor guy is never going to get any drops, I think. Oh, actually, hold on. Nope. There we go. I found our issue here. It is this one that needs it. And then that way it goes down for the drops. And then we'll start from here on this side as well and do the same thing. And then these two just stay. So with that sorted, let's go ahead. I don't think we're actually going to need to have a walkway up here, but you never know when you're going to need to go check on your sheep. So we're going to do the same thing here. Oops. And get that all sorted out. Perfect. And then let's make sure we light this up because I don't want to make any sort of spawning platform. Boom and boom. Next thing I think to figure out is the redstone and then also getting the sheep in place and maybe making little pens for them as well. Obviously, these ones right here, they're going to have the wall as a barrier. So don't worry about these too hard because it is kind of built into the plan already. So let's go ahead. Let's grab our redstone and see if we can't make this work. And then I think it's time to try getting some sheep in place. So I'm pretty sure with this, we've got it set. If I go ahead and turn this into a path block, you'll see it fires the shears, and then we'll just place another block on top of this and watch for this grass to change. And when this grass changes, you'll see the shears fire. So that suggests that if this turns into dirt from a sheep eating it, we'll be good to go. And that means that this system is working and we can duplicate it down the line. You know, nobody ever warns you about how long it takes to sit and watch grass grow. It's not like there's a saying about it or anything. Anyway, as you can see, when the grass grows, that fires. When the grass breaks, it fires again, which is exactly what we need this system to do. So I think without further ado, I'm going to go ahead, get the rest of these put together, and then it's time to struggle to get some sheep in here. But luckily, I know exactly where to find 16 sheep. With all of that set in place, the next thing that we need to do is figure out the dividing area for the sheep. And I think the easiest thing to do for that is just glass. If we have any glass lying around, that would be the most ideal. But I'm not sure if we do. I know exactly where our glass is. Hold on. Right here. Well, it should be right here. Perfect. Okay. Let's go ahead and just grab all of the glass and figure out something that looks semi-decent for the layout of this. So obviously we're going to want the walls to be too wide. And I think we're going to need to obviously have the blocks out here on this cobblestone. So I don't see any reason why we wouldn't just expand the rest of this to also be grass. And that way there's always grass surrounding these sheep. I think that is the best way to do this. So let's go ahead and trade these out for more grass blocks. And then we'll go ahead and place, yeah, we'll just do actual full glass blocks for these pens. And with that all done, we now have our first row set. I think what I want to do is just set up a test row with these hoppers to see about actually connecting them all the way down. And that way we can just make sure that we can figure out this hopper line that we're going to have to set up for each of these little sections. I think maybe we'll just start with this front one. So the drops are going to come right here. And they are going to then go this way. And then down back here, I think is probably the best way to do this. So if I just send a little boop all the way up like this, and then we'll do one like that. Actually, I'm going to destroy this one. And then, honestly, if we do it this way, we actually fill in a wall later so sheep can't get through here. But then if I pop up here and I just drop a block into here, is it going to, whoa, I forgot that I've got duration 3 flight now. If I drop that there, is it going to go? I don't know. I don't think it does. Would a hopper minecart maybe do it? Let's see. Do we have iron just lying around? I know hopper minecarts have a little bit better of a reach when it comes to picking up blocks. So let's see if this works for us. So we replace this one. I guess that's going to go straight down that line. And then we drop this here and that there. Boom. Oh, there it went. Okay. And that, we did it right. Should have gone all the way down here. Sweet. Okay. So not necessarily just using hoppers, but if we do some hopper minecart action like that, this is going to work perfectly. And the nice thing is the hopper minecarts are going to be locked in safe because we'll just do something like this for each of them. So they're not going to move around, and then we'll still go ahead and put the glass encasement just again for that extra protection to ensure that these don't go anywhere. Because the last thing we want is for these to get bumped and then get completely thrown off of how they're supposed to be. I guess we just got to repeat that with each of these now, don't we? So break that one, and break that. And we're going to need a lot more hoppers, aren't we? And there we go. That should be everything in place for these. It's definitely quite the look for an interior. I'm intrigued to see how I end up kind of designing this and clearing it up. But I think maybe if we did here, where's this one? If we did something kind of like this here, I think it would help kind of mask some of it. And if we got to look at some of these, that's okay. We'll just do, again, kind of a row like that. But I think the one thing I want to do before we just say, yep, this works, is I think we got to drop a block into every single one of these spaces and just make sure that it does actually work. We also need to find our glass, and we need to finish putting in glass. So let's just start at the very top where we've already got everything in place and make sure that every single one of these will send a block exactly where it needs to go. And if we did this right, every single one of these will have one piece of cobblestone in it at the bottom. Unless I messed something up earlier and something accidentally picked up another piece. But that's the goal of this. Awesome. Well, there we go. That, to me, says the system works. As a matter of fact, it says the system might work a little bit better than I thought it was going to. So what we got to do now is finish putting this together, get our sheep in, which is going to take a long time probably. And then I think the whole thing's up and operational. Just add in the finishing touches here. I mean, that that should be it. So I guess without further ado, let's go find some sheep. And let's try and lure them over here. I think I'm going to need to build a little bit of a bridge probably up to this level. So let's just do this really quick. Perfect. We'll just do it like that. And actually, maybe we do want to step there. Okay. I don't know where my leads are, but I know I have leads. So let's just do a brief look. I don't know what I would have done with them, to be entirely honest. So maybe I did the smart thing and actually put them in to the sorting system. So let's pop over there and check. I love the footprint of the villa. I think that looks really good. Also, the mangrove tree, I did decide. The mangrove tree, it grew on me. I really like it right there. I don't have a problem with that at all. So unless anybody has any other thoughts, mangrove tree stays. Do you have my leads? You do. I'm going to see if there's any sheep that are just available right away. And then we'll free the other ones and we'll fly them over here using a boat. I think that'll probably be the easiest way to get them out. Oh, sheep. Anyone home? Target acquired. All right, buddy, you're going to take a walk with me this way. Please and thanks. Come along. You will be our first sheep. Oh, no. He got stuck somewhere. I knew this was going to happen. Sir, you are required by law to come with me. Thank you. Okay, and we're going to go down to this last one, my friend. This one right here. I think I got to pull you just a little bit more. There we go. Perfect. I'll take that. Thank you. Beautiful. All right, let's go and make sure that my lead came all the way down here. It did. Beautiful. We now have our first sheep in place. Let's go take another look at them. Look at that. A beautiful first sheep. How cute. Oh. our first shear. Hold on. Did it make it? We now have confirmation that the system works. That is awesome. Okay, well, I think what I've got to do now is just get a lot of sheep over here. And that's going to take a minute. So let's do one more pass to see if there's any other sheep around the area. Because if not, we are going to have to bring them from our base, which is going to take a little bit more time than just being able to find them out and about around here. There is another one. I say we pick him up and take him with us. So for now, I'm just going to go ahead and have every sheep that we get in there just be a normal white sheep. And then as we collect dyes and everything, we'll go ahead and dye them to make sure we have the other colors as well. We have most of the flowers, like I said, in one of the last episodes, but actually, hold on. We don't want to go this way. We'll get stuck in the Arboretum. Let's go down here. But I want to make sure we have more than just one of each of the other flowers. That way we're not wasting it on a dye that, you know, we could have got some other way. So that's my thought on this. So for now, we're just going to get a lot of white wool, and I think that is just fine. There we go. Sheep number 2 is in place. We got a lot of zombies on us, so let's take care of that really quick. Perfect. That sheep also just got sheared right away, so that's great. Perfect. Lovely. Keep the wool in there. Nice. So that would be sheep 1 and 2 set up top, which is... this is so fun. This is so fun. Perfect. All right. Well, we knew this day would come. It is time to free the sheep. I really wonder how this is going to go. We definitely need to make a little barrier here too, so that the sheep do not just all run away as soon as they are freed. Okay. Without further ado. There. Whoa! Holy buckets. Okay. So what we're going to do here first is we are going to go ahead and just snag one of them. We're going to take them out of here, free them, and hopefully not free too many others. It doesn't really matter if the others get out because I'll just come and get them later. And then if you didn't know this, you can actually put a lead on a boat, and then you can fly mobs around inside of the boat. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this sheep in the boat, and then we're going to fly the sheep around. So sheep is all set. We now have this here. How this works is we actually have to get the boat elevated. So typically the easiest way to do this is with scaffolding. And I am a silly guy who just left all my scaffolding over at the other place. So I was kind of hoping if I just jumped down, we might be able to bring them with, but it doesn't look like that's going to work. So let's go back, grab our scaffolding, and then I'll show you how this all works, because it's a goofy thing to watch. Now that we've got our scaffolding, let's go ahead and get this set up. We don't need it to be too crazy high, but we just need to have this boat be suspended so that if we jump off of this, the boat will just be floating and will go with us as we drop. So once we get to the top of this, we'll just take a quick look down, make sure the boat is floating. It is. And now we jump and we hope that this comes with us. And there it goes. So this is how we're going to transport sheep from over here on over to the new wool farm, which I love that that's right there. I think that's going to look really nice. Sheep still with us? Yes, they are. All right. Let's get this as close as we can to the right place. And then we'll just come in for landing and drop the sheep in the right-ish area. Perfect. Beautiful landing. I'll take this. Thank you. We'll break the boat and then get the sheep back on and put them in their new home. Perfect. Well, that worked so much better than I thought it was going to work. Take a look at this. We've already got wool filling up this whole place. So this is working exactly how I wanted it to. I'm going to go get the rest of these sheep all set. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and jump into the build. So I'll see you here in just a couple minutes. So with this built, we finally have another building just to kind of close up that view and really lock us in to this cozy little fishing market area. And I think it did exactly what I wanted it to. I wanted it to fill this space. I wanted it to look very similar to this building, but just, you know, slightly larger. And I think we nailed that in all regard. We've got another path that kind of goes along, and I think I'll eventually connect it or maybe have another dock out that way. We'll see what we decide to do. But what I did want to show you is in the downtime there, I also went and made sure we had all of the dyes. So here we go. Here is every dye in the game. And we are now going to walk through and we are going to dye all of our sheep so that we can have all the different types of wool. So let me get this organized just a little bit here. And let's go ahead and we'll grab our first set of dyes. So now we got, this will be our white sheep. And then we're going to just go blue. There we go. So we can put that out and then we'll do red. Well, I guess you popped up first. You're going to be yellow. You're going to be red. Ooh, who do we want to do this way? We'll do light blue across from blue. Boom. Easy peasy. And then across from white, we'll do black. Perfect. And then across from red, we'll do pink. Oh, you're not ready yet. You get to survive. And then you are going to be orange. I don't have the orange dye on me. Oh, there we go. Red. Beautiful. We have got this main section of sheep all finished, which is very exciting. I suppose now it's just time to let them grow. All right, so moving up, we're gonna need to pick this up again to drop the shears into. But we'll pop up here to this layer. I think these two down here we're gonna do light gray and gray, kind of to match the white and black that are down below. And then maybe right here, let's maybe try to order this out. So it'll be light gray, gray, and then we'll do purple and magenta, green and lime green, and then maybe cyan and brown on the end. Or maybe we'll go like this, actually. Just kind of to match the relative color layout of what we had downstairs. So now I guess we just wait for these guys to grow their wool back. And with that, we have got all of our sheep lined up and dyed. And now we can come down here, and we've got a wonderful mix of colors going on, which is a lot of fun. So you might be wondering, why are all the colors mixed up? And it's because of how the hopper minecarts are. Because we have them set so close to each other, some of them just pick the other colors up. And honestly, I just don't know if I mind that much, because I'm really just going to come down and look for wool when I need it. And if it's all just kind of interspersed, I'll just look for exactly what I need. And I don't know, I'm not too bothered by it, but if I ever do get bothered by it, don't worry, I will be making a sorting system for it. But for now, I'm going to leave it as it is. However, I did just want to show you that in the time that it took me to build this is all of the white wool that we collected. So that is an absolutely insane amount of wool. And now we can make all the banners that I that I could ever want to make. So I'm going to move this light gray wool to here. Or actually, sorry, to here, because that's where it belongs. And all of this white wool into here. And now we know that that's the white wool. But yeah, I mean, I can't complain about this at all. The fact that we've already got this much flowing in is exciting. It's nice to see all these colors around and just have these all done. I do want to go ahead and drop all of my stuff back in so it's not just lying around in my inventory, but I think I left that box up here. So we're going to want to grab that. Well, let's get all of our dyes back where they belong. Pick that up, pick that up. And we'll pick this up without breaking it. Boom. There we go. Well, that's all the time I have for today. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you like this build. I know it kind of is, all of these buildings are very similar, but that's the point. I wanted them to be part of this little village together. And I think this build is going to go ahead and wrap up this section of the village flip. And I honestly have had so much fun making all these, from the boats to the giant fish to just everything over here. I've really enjoyed this area, and sure, maybe we'll add some things here and there if we decide, but I think this is just exactly how I wanted this to look. And like I said, when you're walking through there, my only goal was to make it feel like the only thing that you could see is what's going on right here. And now when you look this way, sure, you've got this hill up here, but your view is like blocked now, and it only encourages you to really enjoy this beautiful view out ahead of you, the ships, and as you're walking around, to enjoy the buildings and the details to the buildings. Take a seat here to get out of the rain. I'm really happy with this whole section. And again, I just appreciate the patience on getting it all pulled together. I'm really excited to see what idea I have next and where I want to take it. I got a couple ideas. I just got to decide on which one I want to do, whether that is working on this field over here, taking a stab at some of the actual buildings of the village itself, or a couple other little ideas that I've had here in between. So I'm excited. I hope you're all excited. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I had a lot of fun. But yeah, if you're new or find yourself coming back, consider subscribing. We'd love to have you here. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Take care. I'll see you soon.